And welcome back, everyone, to My Hero Academia What If. What if Deku had a devil fruit, aka the Ushi Ushi no Mi model giraffe fruit? Someone made a great joke in the comments on the first video where his nickname would be Neku, not Deku. Useless neck. That's not actually what that would translate out to, but it's still funny. So, with that being said, where we go from here? Well, we last left off with All Might is talking to it's showing Midoriya his true form and saying, "We need to talk, young Midoriya." And so he takes Deku to his, well, not to his place, but basically into kind of like the teacher's lounge or his office, if you will, so they can have a chat with each other. And Deku is still completely like flabbergasted by this. Like, well, why? I just don't understand. What are you talking about? I've been watching you for a while, young Midoriya. Ever since you took on the 0-pointer in the exam, I've been keeping my eye on you. But it's not. I wasn't sure if you would have been the right candidate for this or not. But having watched that training match with you and Bakugo, I now know. Now, what? It's like that you are the right choice to be my successor. Your successor? I mean, you want to train me to be your protege? Your protege? It's something like that, but it's more than that. And he explains his quirk, one for all, and everything like that, and everything that comes with that. Wait, you're saying? Whoa! It's like, that's right, young Midoriya. Izuku. Now, I don't want you to make this choice lightly. After all, if you commit to this, there's no going back. You will be my successor. And Midoriya is just like thinking on it, to have all that power and to just be like All Might. And so I was like, yeah, no, I think I want to do this. Absolutely. I'll make you proud. Like, well, I'm glad to see you got such gumption about it, but we don't have to, we're not doing anything at the moment. I don't think your body's still up for the task, even with your quirk. We still need to train you up a little bit. So, I'm gonna arrange a training regimen for you. Luckily, I'm gonna first see where your limitations really lie, and then we'll see where you'll be after that. Now, with his quirk, fortunately, it's not going to be anywhere near as extreme training. It's probably going to be maybe a few months. But that's still a few months he's got to spend training, which means he's not getting one for all probably until after the sports festival, if we're being honest. So, meanwhile, but still, Midoriya is still, training, practicing his quirk, all that. And so they would go to the, I can never remember where, the USJ? Is that what it is? I can never remember the name of the training area that they got sneak attacked at. Either way, they go there. Bakugo's still pissed off about his loss, but whatever. And everyone's just like, yeah, awesome. And then, obviously, the villains come out and attack. Now, Deku is not going to attack anyone in this. Hell, I can see very few scenarios unless he has a insanely powerful quirk and a very altered personality where he outright attacks the villains for showing up. Kurogiri would still ultimately throw them into their different areas. And this is important because Midoriya, if I remember correctly, Sue caught him before he landed in the water. If Midoriya is thrown over the lake or the ocean, he's effed. Deku can't swim. And as far as I remember, being fully submerged really weakens you. It's not like you just sink like a stone and can maybe just walk on the bottom to get to the end, to get to someplace where you can breathe. No, you are weakened in water with a devil fruit. Fortunately, though, Sue and Deku's probably figured this out. So he's like, crap! And then Sue grabs him. And so they still have their conversation. If I have all the powers of a giraffe, I could turn into a giraffe. I also have a giraffe hybrid form that's pretty powerful. And I can tell there's probably more to it than that. But yeah, it's like, what am I gonna do? And so obviously Mineta throws out the balls. This is where it gets a little tricky. Initially, Deku basically just used his fist, created or his finger, created this giant whirlpool effect from the shock, and they all got sucked into it. Here, that can't happen here. So what exactly would be the strategy here? That is actually very, very hard to kind of figure out. My best guess would be Deku, who still has a lot of power in this form, is able to maybe, Sue, I'm going to need you to grab me with your tongue and throw me like a whip. It's like, wait, are you sure? It's like, I don't know. I mean, I'll try. And then just grabs him by his like giraffe, like, what smacks? And basically just kind of like, it's nowhere near as powerful as, say, a shot from One for All, but it's powerful enough to throw people off. And then obviously they're getting caught by the sticky balls, all that, and Midoriya and Sue and everyone hightail it out of there. Now, if I remember correctly, they did ultimately end up in the water, but they were able to swim. Like, I would imagine in this case, once they get to the water and they feel like, as sense Midoriya is like, I can't swim, my quirk, water's a weakness, I can't, I'm going down. It's like, no, you're not going anywhere, Midoriya, come on. And so they get him to shallow enough water that he can stand, and just and say, oh, well, that was pretty not bad, kid. It's like, smash! And, he on reflex, because he's he's still All Might fanboy. Doesn't like giraffe, chip, punch, smash. Like, did you say smash? Are you an All Might fan, kid? And crushing it over. He goes full giraffe, tries to go hybrid form, but he's actually throwing a few punches. And just boom, 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 but it's just not enough. He is nowhere near Nomu strength. And he just gets, he just gets blasted. No, I won't let you hurt Sue. Too late. Damn it. You're just so cool. He raised her head. He's like, ugh! And then obviously gets smashed. Then All Might shows up, and that whole fight goes the same. You said absorption, not nullification, so there's a limit to what he can take, right? I'm just gonna have to push you beyond your limit and force you to submit. Still awesome. You may have heard these words before, but hear them again and let them burn into your heart. Go beyond. Plus Ultra! My voice, by the way, is still not fully recovered, so if you don't hear me, you're not going to hear me do anything super raspy or low raspy, because that's going to really F my throat up. Even now, I can still feel, not tingly, it's just tired. It's strained, it feels a little tense, feels not even sore on the inside, it's more like sore on the outside right here. So yeah, but I do a lot of talking, that's why it's like this. And boom, and obviously everything goes about the same. Now, All Might, just keeps testing Midoriya, keeps training him. I think you're almost ready, but I still want to do one more field test. I still want to do one more field test before we give you One for All, or I give you One for All, the USJ or the sports festival. This is going to be the moment to announce your status as a new hero. When you go out into that match, just to let them know that you are here. Now, can Midoriya? Sorry, I had we had some leftover bacon downstairs, and I had a little bit and just caught my teeth. Sorry about that. Backtracking. He makes it through the obstacle course, frankly, with no issue whatsoever. In fact, this is where being a giraffe is very advantageous. Because giraffes aren't like speedsters, but that freaking gait they have, that long ass, running gait they have is like the amount of the length of his stride. That's what I'm trying to get at. Would be super heavy, and giraffes are still pretty fast. How fast can a giraffe run? Let's find that out. How fast can a giraffe run? How fast can a giraffe run? A giraffe can run up to 37 miles in a maximum sprint. That's actually that's as fast as your average car. Yeah, that's got it. Sorry, a piece of bacon. Got it. That's as fast as your average car speed. Now, bipedal. Now, this is it's a little tricky, because you'd think bipedal animals would have a better speed or better ability to move, and we do. But most bipedal animals are not overly fast. Like humans, I think the max human speed is like somewhere in the 12 to 15 mile range. Cheetahs, we know, four-legged animals, fast land animal, but things like ostriches can run up to like almost 50 miles an hour. There are fast two-legged animals, and then you factor in human sprinting and the fact that he's also got enhanced physicality. This probably puts Deku over 37 miles an hour. This is probably maxing his speed set out. I wouldn't go so far as to say double, but maybe like cheetah speed, frankly, which is still insanely fast. And his long legs would help him immensely in, say, like the rope walking between the pieces of no, they're not. Well, they were stone, but the little spaces that between the ropes for the climbing. You know what I'm trying to say. And he can literally just jump that. He's also probably got insane jumping capabilities too, so he can jump that. He probably honestly is bypassing a lot of the landmines, and still probably winds up in first. Now the cavalry match. This becomes really, really unique because with the cavalry match. The cavalry battle, he is the steed. Because it's normally one person on top and like a bunch of people other, kind of working as like a unit. Here, people can just get on top of Deku and basically just say, and Deku can basically just say, have his like headband around his neck and basically say, just hold on to this and make sure that no one takes it. And because of that, whenever someone tries gets physical, you can just boom, bap it away. Ida's really his only problem. In fact, how fast can Ida move? What's Ida's max speed? Oh, how fast can Ida run? Tenya Ida go. How fast can he go? Let's see here. Ida's top speed can be Mach 3. That's pretty fast. Gotta give him credit. His average speed, we have to assume, based on how fast he moves, that his average speed, someone kind of calced it. During the test Aizawa conducted at the beginning, he ran 50 meters in 3.04 seconds. In other words, he went about 36.7 miles per hour, which actually means that Deku is faster than Ida. Granted, that's just in giraffe form, but he's stronger than the average giraffe. But that's not Ida's full speed, obviously, and he got faster. My guess is he's probably at least twice as fast at that point, which would mean that he is faster than Deku, but probably not by a large margin, surprisingly. Not at this point, anyway. Because he hasn't shown his full, move roster at this point. There was a reciprocal burst or something like that. I can't remember what it was called. Still, I do think it ends with Ida snatching the headband, but Tokiyami snatching the other headband. It's all well and good. Yeah. So he hasn't gotten one for all yet. And he's going up against Shinso here. And this is where, because of how long he's had this devil fruit, I can give him an out on here. Because otherwise, he doesn't necessarily have the best abilities to deal with Shinso otherwise. So obviously Shinso's goading him. He gets into his giraffe form, is ready to beat his ass. And then he gets caught. It's like, no! Ushi Ushi model giraffe. Hold on. Awakened. Spoiler. I don't actually have an image ready for this yet, because I didn't expect to do it as soon as I did, but I did. And so Deku slowly starts to walk out of. Oh, there it is. And it's cool. Granted, I don't really know what added power an awakened Zoan fruit really gives, apart from say obviously the the Hito no Mi Nika model, the artist formerly known as the Gomu Gomu no Mi. So let's see, giraffe, Awaken, or Awa for short, just so I can get it on the screen. I know also the leopard fruit, or the model leopard fruit, is also awakened. He had that fight again with Rob Lucci, and it has a similar effect where it's got these flame patterns and stuff like that. Obviously, the physicality of the user is probably greatly enhanced. I imagine that's got to be a guaranteed ability of the fruit when it's awakened. But otherwise, can the flames burn? Okay, so this is the awakened Ushi Ushi model Giraffe, which admittedly is actually kind of, I mean, yeah, the Giraffe, honestly, it gives him almost more of a snake-like look, which is kind of cool. And then he's got these flames on him, which is, it's actually it really is kind of cool. I like the design, honestly. I wish we could see more Devil Fruits Awakened. And obviously, like the more mythical variations, like I'm sure the Unomi model Azure Dragon Awakened has other abilities to it, because that is like a legendary mythical zone fruit. The model Phoenix Awakened would almost certainly have other abilities tied to it, but this one, the little we know about it, we don't know if these flames do anything, if they're aesthetic. My guess is they're not just aesthetic. Maybe these actually have an extra ability on them, like they can burn. But anyway, I bring all this up because, he's like, no, I gotta move. I've come all this way. All Might's put his faith into me. I can't suddenly lose like this. I won't. And all of a sudden, poof, energy just pours around. Like, what the hell is this? And then he turns the Giraffe, but the Giraffe kind of reduces in size, because that's the thing. He kind of reduces in size a little bit. And he just gains again more almost like a snake look, but down his neck, he's got all of a sudden these flames, and the flames appear, and he's got obviously the hoof hands. It's like, and just looks odd. Like, what the heck? I thought you were a giraffe, man. What kind of thing? What is this, Midoriya? Midoriya doesn't answer. Oh, he's wised up. He's not going to answer. And obviously Shinso tries to get him to answer. Nothing. Midoriya quickly just pretty much disappears from sight and just taps him. Just boom, and just and just it's Shinso down the ring. It's like unbelievable. What the hell? Sorry, Shinso. What? I don't know what really happened. It was just, I think my quirk just, because quirk evolution happened, quirk awakening happens. So it was his quirk had awoken. How, I mean, it's not unheard of, because All Might's thinking that. But for his quirk to awaken like that, in that moment when he needed it, the kid really is something. And I know, and say, don't worry about it. He got me. Don't worry. People always act like that around me. And so we see time pass over the other matches. Now, I do think Endeavor does still talk with Deku. And he just looks at Deku. You're interesting, to say the least. I've noticed All Might's taken an interest in you. That's good, because you're going to be the stepping stone for my son. Push him as hard as you can. And so, sorry, just looking at something on my tail here. I'm not All Might. I know that. And Shoto's not you. And so they're squaring off. And Deku immediately goes into Giraffe hybrid form. He's not in his Awakened form yet, because he's still trying to figure out how to unlock that. And it's like, you're not going to... sorry, Midoriya. And it throws the ice at him. Midoriya, though, is physically struggling to break through some of this ice. Like, it's not like he's completely one-upped by this. Just starts trying to rush at him. More ice. And this continues on for a while. And Deku's just like, you're not going to go all out, use that new form you use against you. Still honestly trying to figure out how I access that, to be honest. But you ever want to talk, you're not going to use your left hand? Like, I don't need to use it. I believe it's his left hand, right? Or is it his, no, yeah, right. Sorry, it's his right hand. I believe that's his right, because his left, I know it's the side that is not burned. Shoto. Todoroki. You'd be thinking, why are you focusing on which side of the hand it is? Well, it's actually important for things. If I remember correctly. Okay, no, it is his left side. It's the burn side. Okay, I was wrong. It was the burn side. So yeah, I was right too. With the left hand, you're not gonna use the left hand. And so what? My father put you up to this? And to which Deku is getting pissed off at Shoto for just honestly using ice and saying, I'll be a hero without using it, not quirk. If you're not trying your hardest, then what's the point? Everybody else here is giving it their best, and you're not even using half your strength. I haven't even put a scratch on you yet. So come on, stop holding back. Give me everything you got. And so Shoto is pissed off. No, I refuse to use my dad's gun. It's your quirk! Yours! Your power! And that's obviously where it's like, when did I forget? That's right, I wanted to Midoriya. The Midoriya finally can feel like the heat and like the energy and the positivity, and is like, don't blame me for what happens next. But finally goes back into his Awaken mode. Do you get the music play? Except Midoriya doesn't have any broken limbs here, so he can still go all out. Midoriya, thank you. And they just collect, and it's still a huge explosion. Nowhere near as powerful necessarily as when he used One for All, because he was using One for All there, but still enough that it's still a boom. Now, is Midoriya still knocked out? Like, is he still out of the ring? And I'm going to say no. We know Shoto's not out of the ring. You know, Shoto's just like, and everyone's kind of looking on. And no one sees Midoriya on the ground. They look up, and Midoriya is actually in the air, nearly knocked out, like almost unconscious. Like he's almost standing still. Like it seems almost like he's standing still. But they look and they see the flames on his back going, kind of reacting to his arms. Almost, they appear to be because we don't know how this works. I'm spitballing how this works. I think it's actually kind of like Black Whip, to be honest. Just grabbing on and latching on, and they're just, and Shadow's like, no way. And he kind of like reverts out of it because it just uses up all of his power because he's still not used to using this form. Boom! And just cracks him straight in the jaw. Honestly, in real life, that'd probably kill a man. But in Shoto and it's My Hero Academia, Shoto can take quite a beating, actually. I mean, he took a straight gut punch from Midoriya. So I imagine he'd survive that. Like, I could see him kind of putting an ice shield up in the last moment, but it's shattering and him still getting hit by a huge brunt of that. Just boom, just boom, craters into the wall. The winner is Isuka Midoriya. I won. No, boom, just passes out. And so everyone wakes up, and eventually they all wake up to recover. It's like, it was a good match, Midoriya. You got me. Thanks. I'll be honest, you pretty much had me here. If I hadn't thought, I didn't even know I could do that, to be honest. So you didn't know you could do that? No, it was kind of on a whim. You really are scary. You really are something scary. You know that, Midoriya? And they all have a laugh. Meanwhile, Baku's like, Midoriya. And so, because the matches are getting closer and closer, Midoriya is more and more tired out as the matches get closer. So when he fights Ida, he's not in good shape right now. I mean, he's recovered thanks to Recovery Girl, but he's worn the hell out. He cannot access his Awakened form at this point. He can still transform, though, do partial transformations. He is moving fast, but Deku's got good reflexes. And Giraffes are durable as hell, actually. So, boom, Ida clashes. He's got, like, using his giraffe leg, kind of, like, kicking outward. And I think ultimately, because he's also very intelligent, Midoriya is just looking at his patterns, just ultimately just trips him with his giraffe, like, Ida's out of the ring! Sorry, Ida! Which leads to one final clash between Bakugo and Midoriya. I'm looking forward to this. Now I can just beat on you all I want. And he's like, good luck with that, Bakugo. And some Midoriya transforms again. It's like, don't insult me. Just Midoriya's just throwing punches, and Bakugo for Midoriya's crack is, and unfortunately gets misses like the kick from his leg, and it's a giraffe kick. Those things can break a lion's neck. So he just gets hit, cracks himself midair, lands in the ring. What you're holding back, Midoriya? Show me everything you got. Show me that new form you got. Sorry, Bakugo, but I can't. What? I can't use that form right now. I'm still trying to figure out how I access it. Honestly, I'm too tired because of all the fighting. I just am not capable of using it anymore. Whatever. I don't need you. I need you to see that. But inside he's cursing because he wants to beat Midoriya at his best, and he can't. Maybe even he thinks he's lying and punches. Midoriya just just running away. It's like, you can't run forever. Just blowing up the ring as best he can. So, where are you? Midoriya comes in. Good. But Baku's like, got you. Hits him in the stomach. But Midoriya's just, you had enough yet? And just keeps going on like this. Till Midoriya's like, I could ask you the same question. Your hand, tell me how your hands feel. And Baku can see his, and he can see his hands are shaking because that's what happens. Like his hands just start, like the shock is too much for his hands. So he's just like, don't you worry about me. And Midoriya is now pretty much back into human form. Like he's exhausted at this point. Yeah, quirks are physical limitations, just are physical abilities. They have their limitations. Isn't that right, Bakugo? And it looks like Yuri's just, I don't need to. And Midoriya's just like, of course I'm almost at my limit too. And he just does partial transformation, basically giraffe fist, just boom, 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 boom. And basically Bakugo tries to dodge, but he just turns it into a giraffe fist and hits him because of the longer reach. And just Midoriya just, I got you. No, you don't. Damn you. And just holds it right at his chest. And they basically both hit each other one final time. He hits him pretty much point blank in the chest, admittedly with a much weaker blast, but still. But Midoriya just boom, just kind of like just pistons him, just boom, and so it ends, I think, with both of them knocking each other out of the ring. Damn it! It's a tie! No! Screw it! I don't want a tie with it! No! Oh no! Come on! Puts the medal on. Good job, Midoriya. I think you're ready. It's like, really? And so, yes. And so that's where we'll end it with then us going into the Hero Killer Stain arc and Midoriya getting one for all for the first time. Until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.